It is week 7 of the NFL season, and now that the New England Patriots have avenged Deflategate in Indianapolis, they're on to their next and possibly toughest opponent in the AFC East.
The Patriots take on the New York Jets for the first time in the Todd Bowles era, and around the league we're seeing some surprising risers and fallers. 5 teams still stand undefeated, and are we seeing the decline of the Legion of Boom? All this and much more coming up on the NESN Football Update.
Welcome to the NESN Football Update. My name is Ashley Allen alongside Michaela Vernava. And Michaela, we have a pretty special guest on the update this week.
Yep, Ashley, it is my dog Jackson, who is 2-0 with his picks since he started picking games in week 5 of the NFL season. So if you think you know football better than a dog, stick around, but he might put you to shame.
All right, well, this guy is coming up later on in the update. But first, let's talk New England Patriots, who are facing off this week against a familiar foe.
That's right. The Patriots offense will have to find ways around Darrelle Revis. Let's check in with our Patriots insider, Doug Kyed, as he breaks down the matchups.
Thanks, Michaela. The Patriots face their toughest matchup of the season so far this year when the Jets come to Gillette Stadium on Sunday. Jets aren't the old Jets anymore either. The Patriots are obviously used to stomping all over New York, but this team is 4-1, and this is the battle for the AFC East lead. Obviously, it's very early to talk about such things, but that will be the talk coming into this week's matchup. Jets have Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, which is certainly not ideal, but their offense definitely looks a lot better. Brandon Marshall is stepping up, and Chris Ivory is playing like the best running back in the NFL. Patriots have some injuries there on their front 7 with Dont'a Hightower missed last week, same with a rib injury. Jabal Sheard left that game early with an ankle injury. Patriots would like to have those guys back to stop Chris Ivory and that dangerous run game, but you know, this is still the Jets. I think at Gillette Stadium, the Patriots can definitely still beat them. Jets defense, however, is very difficult as well. Darrelle Revis is back in New York this season. Tom Brady and he obviously faced off all year last year and, well, both got the best of one another. I think Tom Brady will probably want to stay away from Revis in this week's game. It's unclear who Revis will match up against, whether that'll be Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, some combination of the Patriots receivers. But that side of the field will probably be a no-go for Brady in this matchup. Now here's Michaela Vernava with some of the recent struggles in the Pacific Northwest.
From boom to bust. These days, the Seattle Seahawks secondary is looking more like a Legion of Doom. In all of the Seahawks' 4 losses on the season, they've suffered fourth quarter lead-blowing meltdowns. To add insult to the 12th man's emotional injuries, the now Legion of Gloom can't even learn from their mistakes. Watch this. Week 5, Seattle at Cincinnati. First quarter, 4 minutes in, Bengals tight end Tyler Eifert runs a vertical seam route, and Seahawks strong safety Cam Chancellor lets him by with an unobstructed path to the end zone. On the play, Bengals wideout Marvin Jones is lined up as the flanker. After the snap, Chancellor releases Eifert to pick up Jones on a spot route, but cornerback Kerry Williams is already there, and Eifert is left wide open. A classic case of blown coverage. Now check this out. Fourth quarter, Seahawks with a 17-point lead. The Bengals run an identical play. Again, no one wearing blue and green carries the seam, and again, Eifert is wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. If that's not bad enough, the miscommunication continues. Fast forward 1 week, and the Carolina Panthers trail by 3 at CenturyLink Field with seconds left on the clock. The Panthers' biggest receiving threat, tight end Greg Olsen, is left wide open down the seam for the game-winning touchdown. Neither All-Pro corner Richard Sherman nor All-Pro safety Earl Thomas pick Olsen up. Because of catastrophic confusion and miscommunication, the Legion of Boom was in 2 different coverages on the play. The national media and fans alike are already shoveling dirt onto the grave of the Legion of Boom. If they want to dig themselves out, they're going to have to find their identity that was somehow lost in the sands of their past few stellar seasons. And if they can't find it, well, then Seattle is just going to have to find a way to make it to the playoffs in spite of their once spectacular secondary, rather than because of it.
All right, it is that time of the show to do a little bit of digging through our fantasy mailbag. I'm here now with NESN.com's Nick Goss. And Nick, first up, we have a question from Jameson Griffin on Facebook, and he's wondering if it's finally time to part ways with Peyton Manning.
Well, the time has come. You should definitely part ways with Peyton Manning. He's no longer an elite fantasy quarterback. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards in a single game since week 3. In the last 3 games, he has 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He was completely awful in week 6 against the Cleveland Browns. You drafted him to be a number 1 quarterback. He just isn't that anymore. If you're in a 1 quarterback league, there's no reason for you to start him each week. Drop him or find a better replacement via trade.
All right, next question is Ryan on Twitter, and he's wondering if you think Eddie Lacy will ever turn things around this season.
I'm not very optimistic. I mean, you drafted Eddie Lacy to be a number 1 running back, a top 5 running back the entire season. I just don't think that's going to happen. He was banged up in week 2. Looks like that ankle isn't fully healed yet. James Starks was absolutely fantastic on Sunday for the Packers. Over 100 yards and a touchdown. I think they're going to split carries, so if I'm an Eddie Lacy owner, I'm a little concerned. I wouldn't drop him, but I wouldn't start him as one of my 2 running backs. He's more of a flex option for me going forward.
All right, thanks, Nick. Now let's send it over to Michaela Vernava and Mike Cole for Mike's Power Rankings.
We're here now with Mike Cole for his Week 7 Power Rankings. Mike, after an eventful week, who is rising in the ranks?
I like what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing recently, especially without Ben Roethlisberger. And that culminated on Sunday with a win over the Arizona Cardinals, a Cardinals team that's been really good this season. One thing I really like about what the Steelers has done, they're tied for first in turnover differential this season. You saw the return of Martavis Bryant on Sunday. I think that gives them another dynamic playmaker. Plus the play of Landry Jones, comes in the Michael Vick injury and looks like that's the kind of guy that could take the job moving forward until Roethlisberger is healthy. So I liked what they're doing, and they've just had to kind of tread water without Roethlisberger, and they've done that. So I think they're in a really good position moving forward.
All right, well, who is slipping in the ranks this week?
That would be the Seattle Seahawks. Talk about falling on hard times. The Seahawks have been pretty dreadful this season, all things considered. The biggest issue for them is they're in games and they're actually winning games late. I think all 4 of their losses this season have come with blown leads in the fourth quarter. They've just been horrible in the red zone. I think that's something that's been an issue for them. And the defense all of a sudden doesn't look like it has in years past. They struggle with tight ends, and we saw that on Sunday with Greg Olsen scoring that late touchdown. So they've got to figure it out pretty quickly, or they could be looking at a short season.
For more on Mike's Power Rankings, head over to NESN.com to read the full analysis.
Revenge week has come and gone, and now it's time for a real rivalry to take center stage. The New England Patriots were able to hang on to their undefeated record with the win over Indianapolis in week 6, but week 7 could present more of a challenge. The New York Jets, who will visit Gillette Stadium on Sunday, are in a prime position to make what could be the biggest statement of the season. A win in Foxborough would not only snap the Patriots' winning streak, but it would make room for New York, who currently sits comfortably in second, to possibly steal the top spot in the AFC East.
Dressed in blue and white, Lombardi trophy in hand, arm around Bill Belichick, Darrelle Revis was a Patriot, but not anymore. The guy who helped lead New England to its 4th Super Bowl title is now back on the other side of the heated rivalry and could become the Patriots' worst nightmare. On top of his unmatched ability to be a shutdown corner, Revis knows how Bill Belichick and the Patriots work, and he knows what it feels like to win. But Revis won't be the only threat to Tom Brady and company on Sunday. The Jets' big budget makeover of the secondary also included bringing Antonio Cromartie back to New York after his season-long stint in Arizona. The Jets are 4-1 through 5 games in 2015, which is a complete turnaround from their 1-4 start at the same point last season. The revamping of the defense has been an obvious game changer, as has the exit of Rex Ryan. Head coach Todd Bowles has steered the Jets to their best start since 2011, revived the offense, and unlike years past, has let the play on the field do all the talking. But what might separate this Jets team the most from those that have preceded it are the playmakers at quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick's disposal. Wideouts Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker and running back Chris Ivory combined for 366 total yards and 3 scores during Sunday's matchup against the Redskins, proving themselves to be the best set of triplets since Keyshawn Johnson, Wayne Chrebet, and Curtis Martin. So yes, this team is good, but they lack a high-quality win, which is something the New England Patriots are not willing to give up.
Andre Khatchaturian here to give you your Week 7 picks. We're going to get to Jackson in a minute, but first, here is my Lock of the Week. And by Lock of the Week, I mean bet the rent on the Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl 44 rematch against the New Orleans Saints. Since 2012, the Saints are 12-17 against the spread when they're on the road, and the Saints have also allowed the second most passing yards per attempt, and if Andrew Luck looks anything like he did Sunday night against the Patriots, expect the Colts to blow the Saints out of the water. As for my upset of the week, I'm taking the New York Jets. Yes, the New York Jets over the New England Patriots. If you think I'm crazy, you're wrong. The Jets' defense is the most formidable D the Patriots will have faced all season long. They've allowed the fewest points in the league. Plus, they have the best running back in the league right now, Chris Ivory, who's averaging 115 yards per game, most in the NFL. And these aren't Rex Ryan's Jets, so don't expect Todd Bowles to give the Patriots any bulletin board material. All right, plenty of people think they know a lot about football, but the same cannot be said about dogs, except for Jackson, who's with Michaela for his pick of the week.
All right, it is Week 7, and we are here for Jackson's picks as we're having a AFC East division rivalry showdown. We have the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. So, Jackson, it's time for you to pick the winner. When I put up my hands, my right hand is going to be Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. My left hand is going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick and the New York Jets. He's ready to make this pick. Jackson, who is going to win? That's Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, but are you sure? Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, he's sure.
Wow, Michaela, that was actually extremely impressive. I don't know about you guys, but I might be putting some money on Jackson next week.
Well, you should, Ashley. He does know what he's talking about. Sunday is his favorite day of the week, and he barks after every Patriots touchdown, and his favorite movie is Air Bud, the golden receiver. So pretty talented dog, if I do say so myself, but of course I might be a little biased.
Everybody is. Everyone's biased of their puppy. All right, well, that will do it for this week's edition of the NESN Football Update. For all your NFL and fantasy news, make sure to keep it at NESN.com. And for everyone here at NESN, thanks for watching.